All right, all right. Have you resisted long enough? Is it time to learn the language of astrology? But where do you begin? Well, why not do it the fun way? Come check out the Fun Astrology 101 course and start speaking astro really fast. It's on the homepage, funastrology.com. TGI Friday, everybody, and welcome to the June 7th edition of the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to set up the weekend. We don't have much today. The moon enters Cancer, its own sign, at 8:40 this morning Eastern. I get all excited when the moon is in its own sign for the weekend because it means journal time, having some nice chai tea. If you guys would like that chai tea and Kundalini playlist and all that, we put a package together some time ago over on the Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast. Well, now that resides. It's a freebie available to be downloaded from funastrology.com. Just click the freebies tab at the top. So this really great week of energy continues with that, kicking off the weekend with the moon in its very highly perceptive and intuitive sign of Cancer. It will leave there Sunday afternoon, mid-afternoon at 3:30 Eastern for Leo. So you've got all today, tomorrow, and most of Sunday to enjoy that inspirational, perceptive Cancer moon. Now, there are several other things happening this weekend. 2 squares to Saturn, Venus and the Sun. Venus tomorrow, the Sun on Sunday. We talked about that at length on Wednesday's episode. So if you didn't catch that, I would say go back to that because the whole thing is basically dedicated to this one aspect, that being a square. 2 planets. Okay, 2. But there's another drumbeat to all of this, and that happens really early Sunday morning. It's at 12:34 a.m. Eastern, so it might as well be Saturday evening for a lot of you in the United States. And that is that Mars will leave its own sign of Aries and move into Taurus. Now, typically across the chart, the next sign after a previous sign is not as compatible with that sign. And this is as good of an example as there is, because Aries is all about action and fire and aggression and conflict even. And Taurus is all about balance and even passivity to the point of wanting to connect with nature and does not want conflict. Grounded, consistent, stable, peaceful, that's Taurus. And Taurus opens the door and Mars is standing there. Oh my. Because, let's think about the transit of Mars through Aries so far. Both of the international conflicts have increased in the past 6 weeks, and Mars was very impactful in last week's court decision and in the former president's chart. His solar arc Mars is in a direct square with his natal Pluto, which is in the 12th house. So we don't underestimate at all Mars' ability to stir up conflict. I have Mars right on my natal sun. Conflict just seems to find me. Even being dedicated to a conscious life, it just unfolds. That signature is in the chart. So a question is, will Mars be toned down by Taurus, or is Mars going to come in hot and heavy and affect things like money? We'll definitely be watching this related to the markets because Taurus basically is the money sign in astrology. Mars can create tremendous thrust and power and move this to even new highs. Or it could initiate a rather steep crash, or it might just be benign. In that case, Taurus tamed it down. There's a hot market tip for you. It'll go up, it'll go down, or it'll go sideways. Seriously, if you pin me to the wall, I really don't know. As it comes in, it will be aspecting Pluto, as every planet does that changes signs. We also know that it's stronger right now, so is Pluto. That aspect is a square, so there's some tension with Pluto. And another trigger is the moon. As Mars enters Taurus, the moon will be in Cancer, but moving toward Leo. So it's in a wide square when Mars knocks on the door, but it tightens it up by Sunday evening to an exact square when the moon enters Leo. And of course, that's offset, I think, by that very strong Gemini energy, which is the next sign over from Taurus. So we'll see what that combination of Jupiter, Mercury in its own sign, the Sun, and Venus does to offset that Mars strength. And remember, the North Node is still in Aries, Mars ruled, and we traced that back to all of the conflicts that have happened prior when the North Node was in Aries, and those have all been flared with this Mars transit through its own sign. So it's a powerful weekend ahead with the two squares, Venus and the Sun, squaring Saturn, Friday and Saturday respectively. Let me give you the times on those again. The Venus square on Saturday is at 4:25 a.m. Eastern. Then the Sun squares Saturn Sunday morning at 6:35 a.m. Eastern. Check out Wednesday's episode for the full details on that. And early Sunday morning, Mars enters Taurus. I've got a keyword, but it's a string. It's not a single word. It's a string of keywords. Watch, wait, and meditate. Reason, obviously, I'm saying that is we'll just have to see how all these energies play out. So, the meantime, we have Mars moving into grounded Taurus. So we can capitalize on that grounded boost that we're going to get at the same time that the moon is in its own sign of Cancer, which gives us that propensity to really tune in to the home office. So journal in hand, clean your space, light some candles, do some meditating, do all that grounding stuff, that Celtic stuff we talked about around the new moon on Thursday. That would be great. So, have a wonderful weekend. We have a new person who's going to be working with Kristen this weekend on Level Up, Danny, who I can't wait for you guys to meet because one of her astrological objectives is public speaking. So here's a platform, and I hope you'll join on that. I'll be back with you tomorrow for Merriman, and then here again on Monday, of course, as usual. Have a great weekend. I love you. Bye-bye.